aspirants, I'm Indumati Karthikeyan from Inkar IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the 22nd January current affairs. The topic taken from the Delhi edition. The topic is from Editorial. The topic US-India nuclear deal 1-3 agreement. This topic comes under our mains GS2 bilateral, regional, global groupings and agreements involving India or affecting India's interest. Why in the news? There's a time to seize the promise of the US-India nuclear deal. There are major challenges that limit the full fruition of the deal, but the Trump administration can iron them out. First of all, what are the things we are going to discuss in this topic? First of all, there is the road to nuclear cooperation. What is the nuclear isolation, US-India nuclear deal, and also we must know about the NSD India specific agreement, and what are the challenges regarding the civil nuclear cooperation, and also what are the limitation, the Civil Liability of Nuclear Damage Act 2010, and also what are the recent development happened due to this nuclear deal. These are the things we are going to discuss today. First of all, this news, why it is in the news. Actually, there is a 16 years ago, the writer and other organizer of the coalition for the partnership with India that rejoiced at the final approval of the United States India civil nuclear deal through US Congress. The long struggle for the passage of the necessary US legislation began in 2005, and it was only in late 2008 of the coalition succeeded in working with the George Bush that administration and also US congressional leader to make the legal deal under the US law. First of all, the background. What is the nuclear isolation? The India's nuclear explosion in the year of 1974. It's a voluntary exclusion from the non-proliferation treaty that led to be India's isolation from trade in nuclear power plant, and also there is a many sanction which is done by the US government. There is a US-India nuclear deal. The US-India nuclear deal or the US-India civil nuclear agreement is a bilateral agreement which is signed by US and India in the year of 2008. It is popularly known as the 1-2-3 agreement. The first of all, this agreement, what are the benefit of this agreement is India ends the nuclear isolation technology and denial regimes against India, and also enables India to have the civil nuclear cooperation as an equal partner with the US and also rest of the world, and also there's allows of US companies to supply the nuclear fuel and dual use nuclear technology, including material and equipment could be used to enrich the uranium or reprocess the plutonium for India's civil nuclear energy program. Uranium and plutonium is specially used for the nuclear weapons and medical terms, everything, and enables India to meet the twin challenge of energy security and also environmental sustainability. So the India agrees to allow the inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Association, this association from the United Nations, they are nuclear watchdog group, access to its civilian nuclear program, whether they are using for civilian purpose or it's for strategic purpose. They are going to come and inspect every country for the nuclear safety, and also there is a NSG and India specific agreement is the main thing. That is in 2008, the nuclear supplier groups agreed on the India that the specific exception that is to its nuclear export guidelines after complex negotiation that is following. That is NSG India specific agreement, civil nuclear cooperation agreement have been signed with the US, Russia, France, Australia, Kazakhstan, and also among the other countries. And also India is not a member of the NSG. The main reason being that refusal to sign the non-proliferation treaty. So due to that, NSG is not taken India as a member. That is a main concern, and also there is a many challenges associated with India. First of all, there is a nuclear liability law of India's nuclear liability law has been barrier to the growth of the nuclear energy industry. That is, India's strict liability law places a burden of the compensation for the nuclear accident, and also there is a plant operator, which can deter the private companies from the investing in the nuclear power. And also there's a act which is a liability can be shifted from the operator to be vendor or supplier in case of accident happened. So there is a created which this has created a apprehension among the potential foreign companies delaying the India's ambitious nuclear energy plans. Example, nuclear liability is a majority companies having the major issue which concern that why the deal to install French European pressurized reactor at Jaitapur, Maharashtra has not made the progress. So this is the main limitations, and also there is a limitation of the U.S. Atomic Energy Act 1954. This act on the American side a significant impediment to 10C F4 810 authorization, that is Part 810 of the U.S. Atomic Energy Act 1954, which U.S. nuclear vendor the liability to export the equipment to countries such as India, and also some of the strict safeguards, and also it does not permit them manufacture any nuclear equipment or perform any nuclear design work in India. This is a major concern. The two concern was nuclear liability law, and also there is a limitation act from the US. So these are the main challenges, and also we have the civil liability for nuclear damage act, that is 2010. This act enacted to provide a quick compensation mechanism for the victims of a nuclear accident. So the act establishes that strict and no faulty liability for the nuclear plant operators, meaning the liable or damage regarding the fault, and also the nuclear incident has resulted as a consequence of an act a supplier of its employees, which include the supply of equipment, material, or with a patent. So these are the latent defect of a substandard service, and also there is a nuclear incident has resulted from the act of commission or omission of an individual done with the intent. In case of the nuclear damage, the operation will be maintained a financial security to cover the maximum liability of 1500 crores for the nuclear civil damage. So this requires the operator to cover liability through your insurance or other financial security. So, and also there is a damage which claims exceed 1500 crore. The gap will be bridged by the central government, and also the government liability that amounts to be rupee equivalent to 300 million special drawing rights, or about 2100 to 2300 crore. So these are the main concern in the civil liability of the Nuclear Damage Act. And also there is a many recent development, that is a national security advisor of the US has confirmed that US is moving closer to the formalizing agreement and facilitate the transfer of US nuclear technology to India. This is a very well-being advancement in the nuclear technology of India. That this includes the removing of Indian government entities from the US entry list. That is Baba Atomic Research Center, Indira Gandhi Atomic Research Center, and also India Rare Earth Limited. The US entity list is a list foreign individual, business and organization that are subject to the export restriction, and also there is a licensing requirement for certain goods, and also there is a initiative of India critical and emerging technology. There is a US India ICET is a framework agreed upon by India and the US to strengthen the strategic partnership and drive technology and also defense industrial cooperation, which is launched by 2023 in the objective of foster the cooperation of critical and emerging technologies in areas including artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and also there is a semiconductor, space and wireless telecommunication. There is a many significance of this thing. That is a dual use technology transfer and also streamlined defense and tech cooperation via a framework like Indus X. And also there is a many significance, that is a nuclear from ICET could pave the way to plans jointly manufacture nuclear components for the new project in India deploying American atomic reactors. The US India nuclear deals remains a landmark agreement with the far-reaching applications for energy, security, economic growth, and yet much of the promise is to fulfill by addressing the key challenges and harnessing the advancement of the nuclear energy. Both nations to benefit immensely from the deepen the collaborations, and also the time to act now. The sustainable, secure, and also prosperous future driven by clean energy and strategic partnership. Thank you so much.